For this exercise, we are going to create a 2-column grid double page spread. When you make a new document, 8.5 by 11 inches, portrait, 3 pages, make sure that checked on for facing pages, and 2 columns. Also, just note, nothing to change here, but note that the margins are all set to 1/2 inch all around. When you get your document, you might see that it's 1 page. You have to scroll down and over to see the 2 pages. By the way, if you do not see your pages, you can go to Window and Pages and make sure that that panel is up. All text, illustrations, and images exist inside of a frame in InDesign. We will start by creating a text frame. Select the T text tool and notice that your cursor changes to the I-beam. All I have to do is click and drag to define the text frame. You can use this guide to help you. These are the columns, and in between the columns are the gutters. The gutters are the space in between the column. The magenta all around that 1/2 inch is the margin. We've created our first text box. Let's add some text. InDesign has this great feature where you can fill any text box with placeholder text. Use your selection tool at the top of your toolbar and grab the bottom of this and drag up. You'll notice now that there is a red plus sign here in the lower right corner of the text frame. This indicates that there's more text in this story that fits within the text frame. We will now learn how to link that text to another location. Draw another text box in your next column using the T tool. Then go back to the selection tool and we are going to click on the plus sign, which InDesign also calls the overset text, this red plus sign. Click directly on the plus sign. You might have to zoom in. And once you click on it with the selection tool at the top of your toolbar, click on that plus sign, then you'll see a visual letting you know and a little chain link indicating that the text from here is flowing into the text from there. And what's neat is this is dynamic. So let's say you change the sizes of your text boxes as you're creating your design. Those are linked and will update in real time right away. Continue on and create 4 text boxes that are all linked together. If you run out of text at some point, just copy and paste some of the text that is there. In graphic design and publishing, the word for fake text, placeholder text, text that just has no meaningful content to it, the word for that is, the words are lorem ipsum. And there are some fun ones online if you want to generate your own. I think a friend of mine likes the hipster lorem ipsum, but there's all sorts of different ones that you can find if you want to put your favorite dummy text in here. At this point, make sure that you have nothing selected. We are going to add a picture to our layout by going to File, Place. You may also do Command D. I've selected a picture of some flowers, and you'll notice that now that picture of flowers is my cursor. So my cursor now indicates the picture that I have selected to add. If you click once, the image will be brought in at 100%. You can also define the size. So I'm going to do Control-Z to undo. And then let's say I want it to fit in this column. It will now fit exactly in that defined space. Remember, like we practiced with our shapes, you can always resize if you're on the selection tool at the top of the toolbar, get your handles and bring things in. If you do Alt and Shift, it'll be in proportion, holding down Alt and Shift at the same time. You can also rotate, get your curved barbell and rotate. Let me undo that. And you can also take the hand in the center, and this allows you to pan the image inside if you wanted it to be inside of your space differently. If I wanted to zoom in on one part, you can see this orange is the actual size of the picture. And then I'm making a choice to zoom in and have just this flower. By the way, your pictures in InDesign are going to be only a low resolution representation. Options to change this are up here, but in general, you don't want your full resolution image loading while you're editing type and making design changes. It is just supposed to be a representation, and this is truly why InDesign is not meant for images. They are placeholders, just like the text, because the bigger grid is what you are actually designing. Let's add some shapes to our layout. I'm going to add a shape over here, and like we did in our first exercise, I will give this a stroke. Now, if I drew another box over here, and all InDesign is frames coming together, frames of text, frames of images. One of the best tools, one of the best tricks is just the W key. When I touch the W key, I can see my entire layout without all of the guides. So right now this has 1 point stroke. If it was a 0 point stroke, it would disappear when I do W. It's still there, but in preview mode, you can see all the guides and everything go away. Again, it's just the W key. I will touch the W key again and get my guides and columns back. When you are creating this, your goal is to stay within the 2-column layout. You should have a heading, 4 columns of text that connect. You can arrange them however you want. This file is practiced, and you will make your own 3-column file next. You will turn in both files, the practice and your final 2-page layout. Here is an example of a final 2-column grid. You will have a heading, 4 columns of text that connect, 2 pictures, 1 picture with a caption, and 1 text element. This is a quote pulled out from the article.